he created. His studio's in Amsterdam, so he's quite the creative in the industry, and the name nasomotto means crazy nose. So that's his nickname. So when he was going through the school to learn how to become a perfumer, that's what they would call it, nasomotto. With nasomotto, this is going to be probably your a little bit more liberal, a little bit edgier customer, because all of the different scents are different interpretations of things that he's kind of been inspired by. So, for example, we have duro, which means hard in Spanish or Italian, but it's also the slang word for erection. So it's, again, maybe not something you're going to tell every customer, but the ones that would understand it. We have narcotic Venus, which is his interpretation of what a woman should smell like. It's one of the most beautiful florals out there. If you enjoy floral fragrances, definitely take a moment and smell this. It's the most significant notes in it are tuberose, and it's a whole bouquet of white flowers. Then you have Pardon, which is his newest one. And this is unisex. They're all going to be unisex, so it's not specific to male or female. With Pardon, this is his interpretation of utmost sophistication. A man dressed to the T, wearing a top hat, drinking his cognac. Then you have Absinthe, which is going to be, this is his idea of hysteria. So imagine the drink absinthe and the tint of green in the drink. And it just so happens that absinthe is his favorite drink that he always likes to drink starting at 11 a.m. every time we ask him to do an event. So, and then we have China White. China White is supposed to take you on a journey. Again, another one that's slang for cocaine. It's one of those, the delicate ceramic top, and it's not the idea of that we're encouraging any of that, but it's, again, the artistic interpretation of these things. So this is nasomotto. If you have a customer that you're taking them to this line, probably the easiest way to tell if it's going to be more masculine or more feminine is the round bottles are going to be your more feminine unisex fragrances, and then the ones with the square tops, rectangular tops, are going to be your more masculine fragrances. 30 milliliters, $165. Again, with it being a smaller amount, it's an extractive parfum, and that's why it's a little bit higher with smaller quantities. Do you guys have any questions on this line in particular, or just even about perfume in general?
How long does that stay on?
Okay, I have to be honest, with Duro, for example, this is going to last you 2 showers. It's extremely strong. So this is not something that you want the customer picking up and spraying themselves all over, because at that point they're not going to appreciate it and even understand it. It's very strong, one spray, and you can put it on, for example, the inside of your wrist. You can just barely dab it to help with the runoff. You don't want to rub it, since they are essential oils, they're molecules, they're sensitive. You don't want to crush them and alter the burning process of it changing the different notes.
So what would be the last note that would linger on the body?
Well, okay, so that's a good question. So with nasomotto, he is such an artist that he actually does not tell us what the notes are in this line. So if you get one of those customers that wants to know every single ingredient in these fragrances, we don't know. His whole thing is, you don't know if the Mona Lisa's smiling. It's artwork, it's your interpretation of it. Some people might come in and say they already know what's in it. We have one scent, Black Afghano, that if you find a customer that actually knows the line, they'll probably ask you, do you have Black Afghano? Black Afghano actually has hashish from Yemen in it. So that is the only one that we actually know for a fact what it has in it, because they only produce 2,000 units a year. So we're not able to get it in. For example, I know with Narcotic Venus, we've had a lot of noses that have been able to tell us, for example, this for sure has tuberose in it. Distinct notes about it. China White's going to be kind of your spicier notes. And on here, I'm going to leave this with you guys. Each one has the little saying of maybe what the kind of notes are going to be. So for example, Narcotic Venus being sexual power, of female power, and feminism. So unfortunately on these, I can't tell you what the base notes are gonna be, or what it even starts off as the top note. With agonist, the great thing about it is that on the back of the bottle, it tells you every single note. So every ingredient that's listed on here are essential oils, and they're 100% natural. Does that answer your question on that one?
Yeah, that you don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, I wish I had there's other perfume brands, yeah, that actually we would know exactly what the dry down is gonna be, what the base notes are. In this one, we just don't know. Any other questions? And it can be about perfume in general also. I know niche is something that in the US is a much newer thing, whereas in Europe, people are okay with wearing something that their best friend's not also wearing. They want something different. Nothing else? Okay. We'll move into agonist. This one's a little bit of an easier line. Agonist actually started off as Costa Boda sculptures. Over here you guys have one of the sculptures. So they're all hand-blown glass sculptures by the House of Costa Boda, famous Swedish glass company. And it started off as one fragrance, the Infidels, and that started in 2008. And then in August of 2012, we launched the 6 scents of 50 milliliter spray parfums. So with this sculpture, there is a perfume refill, basically that they would fill the bottle with. There's a small metal applicator that you would use to dip in the perfume, to dip in the bottle to apply to your skin. You don't want them to ever use the dropper that's included in there on their skin. With it being glass and also obviously the suction, if they were to touch it on their skin, then there's oils from your skin that you're taking and putting in your perfume bottle. So that's very important to know, because if somebody's paying $1,300 for a perfume with obviously the crystal sculpture, you don't want them coming back in and saying all of a sudden this isn't what I bought, and they're the ones altering the scent. But that's again a more specific customer, but you guys have actually sold one of the sculptures.
Yeah, I sold it.
You did? Okay, great. So, and that's great. Can you tell us a little bit about the customer maybe that bought the sculpture, or what you did to sell it?
She's actually really cool and like knows everything about it. It's Mary Mulder. She's very like fashion forward, very advanced, knows everything, very into art, very into all different kind of stuff. So she thought that's so cool, I want it.
Okay, so did she, I mean, I'm assuming she obviously knew Costa Boda, but did she know anything about the perfume, or?
No, she just thought it was cool.
Okay, so literally it was just, she saw it, she went up to it and was like, this is what I want.
Yeah, she's really, really cool. She's, I don't know, like,
young.
she's very young. She's like 35.
Okay, okay, great. And that's the thing, with the sculptures particularly, you might have somebody that either knows the perfume or obviously is familiar with Costa Boda, and maybe they're a collector of perfume bottles or of crystal in general. And they can buy refills for those. And then with the 50 ml sprays, they're a perfume spray. It's $195. All of the ingredients are listed on the back. So it's listed on the back here. It's also listed on the front of the packaging. This is also a great gift item. The inside of the packaging is, there's the outer layer, there's the cardstock inside, heavy packaging on the inside with foam that this actually inserts into. Again, the most important thing about this line being that all of the ingredients that are listed on here are 100% natural. So whenever you're reading Brazilian orange, that is the actual process of boiling down the Brazilian orange and putting that in the perfume. Of course there's alcohol in it, but when you're just referring to the ingredients that go in the bottle. From Sweden, 2012 is the launch. Agonist actually means struggle, competition, conflict, and that's kind of what inspired the whole the line to begin. Questions about agonist in particular?
They are